Baseball to me has always been fascinating. In my family, my father was a baseball player, and it sort of was handed down as a kind of a pastime activity. However, we were denied in those days the opportunity to play on certain fields, certain places, so we had to find our own little backyards and our own ball fields. Often we didn't have necessary balls, so we made our balls. We would take different tapes and wrap certain objects until we formed our own balls. And we'd take a stick and make a bat, we use for a bat. Because we couldn't play on some of the fields with the white players, there were teams that developed in the neighborhoods, neighborhood teams, church teams, where there was a lot of talent, but didn't go recognized because we didn't have the exposure and the coverage from the press. But we did have in Greenville a team called the Black Spinners. We had the Spinners, which was a white team, and we had also the Black Spinners. And some of my schoolmates played on the Black Spinners. Going to a Black Spinners game, you saw players that you knew. You saw players that, you could identify with. So that gave you, a good feeling. And this gave you a sense of pride.
Yes, friends. Over in Blakely's son Con. Been working out precious days. And they've been taking pictures on me for a baseball player way back, the Black Spinners. Playing with the Greenville Black Spinners, very good experience. It was a semi-pro league, and that's what we played. I had a team in Spartanburg. We played against Spartanburg. And we played guys that ended up playing with major league teams. So we played all over the Carolinas. You had to be good to play in the first string team when they come on the ground. So I was always in the first lineup. And to be able to be in the first lineup in any baseball team, you had to be very good. I was the littlest on the team, and they gave me the biggest uniform. Can you believe that? I was the smallest, but all them big guys were wearing size 32s and size 34s, and they was giving me a size 38. And it wrapped around me 2 or 3 times, but I could carry the ball, I could run with it. And I could steal bases, I could sacrifice hits, and I was a pinch hitter. And they wrote up in the Greenville News that I went 25 trips to the plate and got 25 hits, and I was batting something like 600. And my mother used to come to see me play baseball, and to hear her telling me, "Run, son, run. Run, son, run." And I was steal base, I was steal home base, I watched the pitch when he go up like this, and he stay too long, I'd take off, and he'd come down, he's too late, because I'm sliding under the second baseman, sliding under the third baseman. So I was a fantastic baseball player to myself. I was. So it was fantastic for me.
You had these kind of coming together of community, people in communities, and they would formulate these teams down at Pete now. So it was really creating your own like little thing, You couldn't get in the league with the white players, so you create your own. So they would find a field if it was some vacant land or if it was near somewhere, and they would lay out a diamond. It wasn't the most manicured like you have now, but they made it do. And on the weekends, it was a big thing, you gather the ball field, and it was a gathering where people will come out, eat hot dogs, fry fish, and just enjoy the atmosphere. See somebody pitching and hitting the ball. Great sport.
So the black spinners, them old boys are gonna be glad to know that we got a spot on television.
We're very closely tied into the Texel history. If you walk around the park, you'll see banners that harken back to the old eras where we had the Mill Leagues and the Negro Leagues and some of those Texel leagues that were a vital part of baseball history in the upstate. And then as you go to areas around the park with the Sheila Joe Jackson Museum, in some of those areas in town, you'll get to see the rich heritage that baseball has in Greenville. We reached back to the heritage of the textile mills and used the reclaimed brick to help match some of that to the history of the upstate, as well as to create the building in a structure that fit in with the neighborhood and the surrounding area. The textile leagues, their ancestors played. It has a long history of success here in the upstate as well as in the region, and we like to think that we're an extension of that. And I think they're baseball fans in Greenville. Fluor Field has become one of the best ballparks in the country. I'd put it up against any ballpark, pound for pound, in terms of atmosphere and beauty and being able to tie to the heritage. The Red Sox have a big heritage with Fenway Park. Fenway is one of the more historic parks in the country, and for us to be able to have the same dimensions and the same sight lines is a great asset as we're trying to build our brand here in the town. Greenville is such a tremendous place to live and to work and to play in, and we really feel that the Drive is a vital part of that community. And you look around the country and around the state, and there's not a better community in which to live. And we feel that we're just an asset, a small asset in Greenville's offerings.